Boy boots. Don't let him get in the camera, Josh. He's all the way. Now look, you're gonna have to be man enough to bring him down because we got to keep him out of the camera. We've missed our dog. I've got a question I'd like to know. So Van helped us out. Josh helped us out. We got a ride to the airport, or ride back. If you're on, do me a huge favor, like, comment, share the stream. Make sure you're on the stream. Okay? So Van goes, we told him to use what card, Van? He didn't use the business account. He used his own account. His own card, put his own money in there, risk his own repayment. And then he tipped him. I need to know, should we have to pay for the tip, or did Van give him the tip, or did I?
Well, would you have given him a tip?
Nah, I don't know. I need my wife on here. I need to know. I want to know, do you tip? And the reason why I'm talking about this is because I read an article about how tipping is getting out of control. I'm going to ask my wife. So let's just...
Like how much people tip,
it's
or
good.
How much people don't
Just
tip?
like when you go to a store and they're literally not doing anything behind the counter and they turn it over. Like,
all right, well, call my wife. I got to tell her. She's on speakerphone. Sam, what do you think? Is tipping getting out of control? No disrespect to the servers. No. Servers earn it.
yeah.
Hey, you're on speakerphone on the morning grind. I've got a question.
Yeah.
So Van, he did not pay our Safari with our card. He paid it with his card. We've got to pay him back. Now, here's the key question. Whenever you pay at Pet Safari, do you give them a tip?
Oh, at Pet Safari, hell.
Lodging, no.
Lodging, no. So Van tipped him 10%. It was how much extra money, Van? $58. $58 tip. Should Van have done that?
Well, I only tip when he gets like his hair done or a bath or a service.
It's tip. Okay. So you would not have done that.
Tips
No, only for a service, not lodging or daycare.
All right. I love y'all. See you.
It's expensive, yeah.
Bye. So see, I think tipping's getting out of control. And we'll get on with the show in a minute. Here's what makes me livid. Whenever I pull up to Starbucks, and I'm not going to get political or say anything, but they're so damn liberal they won't even take your card now. They make you stick it in there. I mean, that makes me irate.
And a little tip pops up.
What, should I tip them, Van? Van? Why are we tipping so out of control now? I went out to dinner. Hell, I always tip about 30. But why?
Because I feel like they could use it.
If it says tip on there, it kind of guilts you.
It does. Hey, I go to Smoothie King, and I'm sitting there, and they're taking my order. Are they going to ask you a couple questions? Every fucking time they ask, they say it's going to ask you a few questions. And I'm just going to start saying, hey, why don't you just ask if you deserve the tip? Should I tip those people at Smoothie King, Van?
If they feel like
I would probably tip them, yeah.
I do.
We're getting out of control, I think, on this. I think it's getting out of control. I just told my wife this story, and her response was, why did Van tip so much? Because he's getting reimbursed for it, Sam. I tipped him that much. I just read this article, and it's just, I mean, what do you expect now whenever you get a tip?
If I'm serving, I expect 20%.
20%.
I know that I'm good.
What did you expect?
I expected 35%.
God. The golden rule is to tip for services.
I feel like if you're getting paid a decently livable wage, like Starbucks employees.
Do they get paid decent?
Yeah, and they get their college paid for.
Yeah, it's not like they're making
Yeah.
waitress.
See, I think the way it should be is you should tip the people that don't get minimum wage jobs.
Agreed. I agree 100%.
I got to find today's show topic. I'm on a rant here. Oh, man. I'm going to stop tipping so much. But I'm going to tip the people that deserve it. So let's get clear. Who deserves to be tipped?
Servers.
Servers.
Car people. Haircut.
Haircuts.
Detailers.
The haircutters, I tip my guy. I mean, but they set the fee. Is there tip built in? I always tip my guy.
I always tip my hair.
Tip 20%.
Valet,
Valet,
car detailers,
dog
barber,
car detailers.
maybe a barber.
I mean, we're in a world now where we're tipping people on carryout. Should you tip carryout?
I do, but no.
Yeah,
I do
How far
too.
they go. Like at Carrabba's, we go out to the car. They don't have to get out.
Man, it's creating such an entitlement, I think.
How about if you're picking up at the counter?
Moving right along, 60 seconds of gratitude. I am glad I'm back and I got to see my dog. Man, I missed that dog who we spent $629 on 4 nights, Van just told me. 4 nights with a $58 tip.
Josh would have watched him for half that.
We're better off to let somebody stay at our house. We're better off to let somebody come stay at the house. Who would come stay at my house for $400?
I would.
Would you? I don't know if I'd trust any of y'all, though.
Your new house, I would.
Your new house. I don't know if I would trust somebody to watch the. What if you accidentally left the door open like Hayden did one time?
I would do that.
I'm smarter than that.
What?
It's a chance.
Stay at your house.
I think you did, maybe. And you were young. You were very trustworthy.
I was worse than that.
You were. I don't know. I don't know. You were worse, but you had a lot more drive. You're a lot more determined. All right, moving on with today's show. I'm thankful to be back. Great vacation, fun, great weather. When times get tough, pay attention. Life is trying to teach you something. Thank you, Bradley, for that topic. Hung out with Bradley on the 4th of July. What do you think about that topic, Van? When life gets tough, pay attention. Life is trying to tell you something. It is very true. When do we learn our best lessons? Adversity. That's when you learn the most. I learn the most. Hello, Andre. Thank you for getting on here. David Estes, my daughter has dog sitting house sitting service. Has a dog. Well, you know what? The next time I go out, we'll give you a call. If she's dependable. If you tip me $200, I will. That's what Shannon said. All right. Well, we tipped 58 on the last one, but I just think tipping's out of control. Moving right along. Think of a time where something got real tough for you. How did you fight through it? How did you overcome it? Did you fight through it or did you crack? Can you think of a tough time?
Yeah.
No,
I can think of a few.
What's the toughest time in the last 6 months?
Probably my boxing match. That was a pretty tough time.
That wasn't that tough.
It was mentally tough.
I'm sure it was mentally tough, but the fight was 10 minutes.
Yeah. No, that's
When's the last time you went through something? When's the last time you went through something that was 10 months?
not 10 months, but like the end of last year was pretty tough financially.
Okay, so I'm gonna move back to 2008 and 9. Whenever it was so tough, our market, we sold less than 4,000 homes during 2009, I think. 2020 we sold 8,100. 2009 we sold like 3,700. It was like trying to pick up girls with a sticker that said I have AIDS, or I've got. That's how tough it was in 2009. You're going out and trying to get laid, but you've got every disease labeled on you, and they're just sitting there and they have no interest. That's what it was like in 2009, and because I wasn't ready to overcome that tough time. I wasn't financially fit. I wasn't mentally fit. I wasn't emotionally fit. I didn't have the skills to fight through that time period. So I had to move in with my mom. I had to rent my personal house out, and that really saved me. And then I'm living with my mom for 5 years from the time I'm 35 to nearly 40. My mom she's probably starting to get embarrassed. People coming over there. Hey, your damn son's shacked up in that bedroom, making a mess, not even cleaning up. You're doing his laundry. Think about all these things. But all that stuff I went through all that because I had to learn something. And during that time period, I hated it. But now that I'm looking back, I can say, man, that's probably the best. That was probably the best gift that I ever went through was having to having to start to depend on myself, learn how to fight, learn how to build discipline. That's when everything changed for me. So I feel like now there's things going on that are taking me back to 2009 because things are hard. And I got news for you. Things are going to be hard for about another 9-10 months. We're about to go through the second part of 2023 after several consecutive rate hikes, which are just now starting to come into the system. This year will be as hard. The second half of this year will be as hard as last half. Maybe it's going to be a little bit harder. It's probably going to ease into the spring buying season. It's going to be a little bit better, and hopefully by May or June, rates are starting to come down a little bit. But the reason why this is going to happen, whether we like this or not, we're not in control of this. You know, some people are going to say God's in control. Well, we're not talking about that, okay? We're not going to go there. Who's in control right now is the Federal Reserve. Whenever they raise rates like this and they slow everything down, they will dictate what happens financially. Now, maybe they can't say we're going to raise rates today and it's going to slow you down tomorrow, but sooner or later they're going to make this game so hard to where it will get that hard. And when it gets that hard and people stop buying houses or they stop spending money, they'll rig the game again. What will they do? No. They'll lower them.
Oh, lower them, yeah.
Hiking makes it harder. Lowering makes it easy. It's a balance. So I'm sitting there thinking, well, where we are, we're nowhere near where we were last year. What is this telling me? I've got to internally, and over these 4 days, I made this decision. You know, there's something I got to pay attention to. Something is going on right in front of me. And I wrote down these things, and I'll talk about it off air about where I've got to improve. This little, I'm glad I've got the awareness to know, dude, all this is a test. This is a test to weed out the people that are not worthy for the next level. 60,000 people left this industry so far this year. 60,000. I know of a big mortgage lady that just got out of the business. And I'm like, well, that was like damn, are you serious? This is a time to cut people that ain't ready. They're not ready and they don't deserve to be here and they're going to be gone. And hey, I'm going to say this. There's going to be some people that are doing levels of production that their production says you are one. You do belong here. But their skills, their work ethic, their networks, all that's going to become clear. So a rising tide floats all boats, as Warren Buffett said. So what we're about to see is when the tide flows out, we'll see who's swimming naked. Shut us down, Van Grefton!